Welcome to another exciting adventure at Bobe's Hobby House. I'm Terry Bobe, and we've got a neat program tonight, and I brought some expert help with me because on an everyday basis at Bobe's Hobby House, we have people that come in and say, I'd like to buy that kind of glue that'll do everything. What you can just barely see on the top of the table here are a few of the glues that we stock at Bobe's Hobby House because we haven't found the glue that will do everything. I have with me as guests tonight my wife Sandy and my son Michael. These guys are also experts, a few of the experts from Bobe's Hobby House. And they can talk to you. We're going to talk about different kinds of glue tonight. The title of the program is Making It Stick. Okay. We could sing the song and everything. But not tonight.
Not tonight.
We've got a lot of stuff here. You know, that was a relief. We got a lot of stuff here to talk about. Like I said, people have come in looking for that one glue that does everything. We just haven't found it. And I think sometimes they lie on TV. I've seen it happen. They've got a glue out that says they'll do everything. And we found some things that it doesn't do very well. So we have a big variety. We've got glue for the craft departments, glue for the art things, glue for models, different flavors of models.
Right, we want to tell you what's best for what.
What's best for what?
That's right. What is?
Mike, you want to start us off? Yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're doing. I'm going to start off by talking about gluing plastic models. And there's lots of different types of glue you can do with plastic models. Okay. The typical ones everybody's generally been familiar with is the good old tested tube cement, which is just marvelous stuff. And that's a nice basic thing. Then we have the liquid cement from Testers, and that's also good stuff. It's just a brush-on liquid. And now they've come out with super glues.
For plastic?
Yeah, this is especially for plastic. And just lots of different types of glue just for plastic. I'm going to illustrate a little bit of these and show you some of the particular things you'd want to use different ones for.
Okay, let's be quick. This is live
we're
TV. We're moving right along.
First, we're going to pop open some of the super glue. You can see here I'm working on the Batmobile. Nice, familiar thing everybody can know about. And if you haven't seen Batman by it now, he's on cable and everything else. All over the place. Okay, this Batmobile model is from Ertl. We're going to do a couple of parts here. The cockpit on this car, it's a little bit tough to get this thing to fit in there quite right and hold it very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some super glue back. You have the zip picker?
Yeah.
Let's illustrate zip picker. Zip picker is, you're all familiar with super glue and how wonderful it is that, oops, I dropped pieces. We're just going to run some super glue along the edge there. Well, super glue is a really quick drying glue that glues most anything, okay? But when you tap it with the zip picker, if you watch carefully on here where this is, so I don't
little spray bottle.
The mess of it. You can just kind of see it turns white and sizzles up there. You can't really see it too well on the TV here.
Sizzles?
Yeah.
Sizzles like fried egg.
Yeah, it sure does. And that is quick.
Okay, you can pick up the whole thing by the piece you just glued on.
I mean, absolutely quick.
Does that melt the glue, the plastics together, or is that just really...
We think it realigns its molecular structure. But it happens fast and we're not sure what it does.
But it makes a nice smooth seam when you do that?
Sure does. Especially if you use the thicker super glue, the Zap Gap where the plastic is at. It's a thick super glue that you can sand afterwards. I mean, you can see this is kind of rough and kind of a mess. But it'll be okay once you sand it down and paint it. It'll look pretty good. Okay, this is just to illustrate how you can get it together. If you want to build a model real quick, that would be the way to do it. Okay, when doing car models, you run into these wonderful little chrome pieces. Okay, if any of you have done the chrome pieces, you know that regular plastic glue doesn't stick it very well unless you scrape off that chrome plating on there, okay? But there's a way around that too, and it's super glue. This wonderful super glue stuff, I'll just drop a bit of that in there.
The flavor you're using here, and we have several types of super glue. This particular one is called Zap a Gap. This will zap the piece right in there, even though the piece is not a real tight fit. We also use this on wooden models. The radio control guys use this very, very fluently.
Sure do. And once again, nice, good fit. Now, like I said, you can't do that real well with the regular plastic glues, of course.
Okay.
Should hold down in there. Okay. Then there's the other type of glue. I want to show you a little bit with the Testers tube cement here. and show you one of the things that used to be a problem on that was the big gob of glue that you made in squeezing this out. If you just took this thing and tried to run it along the edge of your model, you're going to make a mess, because that's a lot of glue. That's a lot more than you need.
And this works by melting the plastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pick up the phone while
Okay.
you're sticking this. Hi, you're on Bobe's Hobby House.
Yes, thank you very much. I work at the base, and of course I have what's called a line bag.
Uh-huh.
The size of that, of course, is about a third in height more than, say, the average credit card.
Right.
And it's about the width of a little more than the width. You know, it's a line bag.
Okay.
Okay. And because of my work, I need to wear it on my belt. I wonder, where can I get a leather? You know, there's plastic ones you can buy, but they don't last long. Where can I get a leather one made that will have a flap on the back so you can slide your belt through there? And, of course, the front will hold the line bag.
Okay, I believe we've got some phone numbers we could pass back to you at the shop. If you call us between 9 and 6, Monday through Saturday, I could be a lot more help.
Oh, okay, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Okay, as you can see on the paper towel there, I've done the finer lines, and this is a tester's glue tip. They've come out with this wonderful little glue tip that you add on the end of the tube, and it's actually adaptable to a lot of different types of tubes.
Precision fit glue tip.
That's right. And it makes things a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, they just pile of this glue and use toothpaste, but this works a lot better for that.
Well, you pick it, I'm going to pick up the phone.
If there are any other models besides the Batmobile from Batman that are available?
Currently, there are a couple of others available. There's the Gotham City police car, which also is the same car as the Joker mobile.
Okay, I had heard of the Graffiti.
I'm not too familiar with that one. That particular kit is the other one I'm familiar with right offhand that is available right now.
Okay, thank you.
They will be making the Batwing a little later in the year, but it's not out quite yet.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Okay.
thanks for calling.
Some real Bat fans.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Then, just to show you another little one real quick here, I'm going to show the tester's liquid cement and how easy that is to use. I'll get it open here. We're just going to put on one of the fins here. This is just a liquid cement that you brush on. Okay. We're just going to kind of brush it around the edges where things are going to contact. And this is one that does actually melt the plastic to get it together. Okay, you can put on a little on there before, maybe brush a little bit along the edges and stuff, just to let it seep down into the cracks there. Okay,
It works out pretty well.
works out pretty good.
You just don't
Like-
have to be careful, right?
Yeah, you sure
Yeah,
do.
like most glues, though, you want to be sure you notice you put the lid back on pretty quickly.
Yes.
Because many of the glues will evaporate or harden inside of the tube if you leave them exposed to air.
Plus, if you put the lid back on, you're not likely to spill it.
Yes,
Good point,
and for
especially
short
on
bodies
the
who are working on mom's dining room
That's right.
table and husbands that don't want to be divorced, put the
Put
lid
the
on
cap
it
back
quick
on.
before you take the finish off the tabletop.
Yeah, so I'm going to put the rest of these on real quick. Okay. Well, that's basically the types of model glue. All right, there's one other type of glue that's not really specifically a model glue that you use a lot on models. If any of you have tried to use any of these regular model glues or the super glues on the clear parts, the canopies and the windscreens or the windshield, all that kind of stuff, it'll fog it up and just make a mess of it.
Makes
So
it look
what
like
you use
bathroom
is
windows.
wonderful Elmer's white glue, just plain old white glue like you used in school to glue paper together with, stuff like that. Great stuff, and it dries clear, and you don't have any trouble with it. It doesn't fog up the canopies or anything. It's also good for photo etch brass parts. A lot of the high-tech models that are out now, you use either super glue or the white glue, depending on where the parts are located.
Okay, so that's a good way to get your clear parts on. That's one of those catch-all glues that we use in the craft departments as
That's
well.
right, because Elmer's glue can be used for paper. It's a good glue for children. It's a non-toxic glue, so it is recommended for children. Craft sticks and pom-poms and construction paper and all kinds of things can be done with Elmer's glue. It is a thin-bodied white glue, so I don't recommend it for any fabric projects.
Okay, this brings up those other white glues. What else is in that group?
Well,
I tricked you, didn't I?
yeah, you did.
This
Well,
was not
hang on
according
a
to the
sec.
script.
Well, that's all right. We can handle this. We have some of the other bodied glues are your tacky glues.
Tacky is such a wonderful name. I love to tell people we have tacky glue.
Okay, since you're doing this to me.
Okay, I'm going to pick up the phone while we're doing this to you. Hi, you're on Bobe's Hobby House.
Yes, I was wondering, what's the best way to get that to glue off flesh?
Off?
Get what kind
Which
of...
kind of glue?
The super stick.
Super glue, yeah.
Ah, we have a neat product here called Debonder. This will remove the glue from your body and from other places. Pretty handy thing to have around if you're going to be doing this. That's one of the cautions we try to issue with the glue, and of course it's printed on the label. The caution is be careful, you can stick yourself to your project or to yourself or to a lot of other things. So yeah, the Debonder is essential if you're going to use this kind of glue.
Okay.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, that causes a little panic in your heart first time you stick your body parts to something.
Okay. Some of the other white glues that are available are Sobo, which is very similar to Elmer's, but a little bit sturdier bodied glue, and Eileen's thin-bodied silver tacky, which again is mostly for paper and stuff. This is also a good glue to use if you wanted to do potpourri. Like you take a styrofoam ball and you cover it with the glue and you roll it in the potpourri so you make a...
Sniff it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But we're talking about make it stick, not make it stink. So.
I knew you were going to say that.
Of course.
But at any rate, this is a good glue to do that with, or other similar products where you need something just a little bit thicker. And then there's my favorite glue, which is tacky glue in the gold bottle, which is a very thick-bodied white glue that has kind of a rubber base to it, because when you get it on your hands, in order to get it off, you just roll it off.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and one of the neat things about this is if you leave the lid off while you're working with it for a while, it will get even thicker. And you can see that this is a very thick white glue, almost a paste consistency. And the thicker it gets, the better it sticks. And this is good for all fabric projects, not washable fabric projects. We'll talk about those in a little while. But like photo albums, padded baskets like we have down in the front, anything that you need to do like that, gluing laces and ribbons onto things, that's really good. These glues are also good, Mike, for model type
Putting your
things
foliage
like
down.
Right.
We've
putting
got
your
a great
trees.
time to
Let me
stick
move
some
these out of your
foliage.
way.
Some of you might remember the last TV show we had. We had this wonderful diorama base here, and we talked about this neat foam here that you can just kind of break up and place down. Well, now we're going to show you.
Okay, for
how to
those that
attach it
don't
real
remember,
quick.
what are
Yeah,
we looking at here?
This is basically a bunker from Verlinden, which
It's a World War II.
we have the box for over here.
There you go.
This kind of shows you the scene that Verlinden puts together with this. Of course, he sells a lot of his products and showing you how to make fantastic dioramas. Makes it really easy.
Which we stock.
Which we stock a whole line of. We've
You
got
have
a
the
lot
books
of them.
in stock too?
We have the books in stock too, and a lot more on the way. Well, what you do is, we made up this nice base on the last show, and it's made of styrofoam, and we'll tell you a little bit more about gluing styrofoam together in the next half, I think, in a little bit. But
We'll have to be quick.
right, we've cut in this base and everything, and put the bunker down. And what we're going to do is just attach some of this nice woodland scenic foliage to it. It just comes in a clump. It's colored foam rubber, but it's great stuff. So to put some up here on the top, what we're going to use is that wonderful tacky glue. It's a nice thick white glue, like she said, and we're just going to kind of
doesn't take
dab
very
some down here. It
much.
doesn't take too much at all. Okay, that's really probably too much. We'll glue a bigger piece down with it.
It really, with this thick glue, you need very, very little, just enough spot
just
to
put a
adhere
little-
it.
There's another neat thing about
bottom.
it. This also dries clear, so
That's-
that, while you
yes.
might see in the close-up there a little objectionable white liquid,
It
as soon
dries
as the glue
perfectly
dries,
clear.
it is clear.
That's right.
The model
Really easy to
railroaders
do.
found that they can make mud puddles out of it also.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
little
Sure
standing
can.
water and that sort of thing.
Speaking of which, other
Speaking
things
of
that you can
which.
do, which are neat to do with water, like a stream bed or something like that, is the gloss polymer medium that we have over in the art department. This is normally used as a glaze in a medium with acrylic paints, and you can glaze it over your paintings and stuff. But it also is an adhesive for things like decoupage, puzzles. If you want to put a puzzle together or something, this is what you glue it together with, so you can hang it up and not have to do it again. But it also makes great water on models.
Okay, while we're sticking around here, we'd like to have you stick around, and we'll be back for a break in just a few seconds. Hello, here we're back and we're talking about glue and how to stick things together. Different kinds of projects using the right glue for the right project. We've got, what are we jumping into now? We're gonna.
Oh, I don't know. We've got so many
Go ahead,
glues
do
to
yours.
cover, I swear.
Let's
This
touch
is
craft
just-
glues. That'll make.
Well, some of the things that you glue, you know, just about everything you do in crafts, you glue.
It's that way in models
That's
too.
right. Well,
The whole world is stuck
Okay.
together with
Doesn't
There
work
are-
too well when you tie them together.
no, probably doesn't work as well.
unless it's
so-
ribbon, and you could
Right,
tie
you
ribbon
could tie
together.
ribbon.
Yes, but you still have to glue it to your project. And there's a lot of things you can do without having to have a glue gun. Okay? Some of these that are really needs to have designer tacky, as long as we're still talking about the tacky glues, designer tacky is one step beyond the gold. It's even thicker and it works even better, especially for photo albums and stuff. I don't like using a glue gun on things like fabric because it leaves a ridge. But these kind of glues are very, very thick, and this is what I do a lot of the baskets and the photo albums, and like the Creative Twist veggies, which all start with a styrofoam base. And Michael, we're going to talk about the right and wrong way to do styrofoam, okay?
Yeah, first I'm going to show you the wrong way. We're going to talk about styrofoam with model glue, okay? Model glue isn't the best stuff to use on styrofoam. If you just kind of brush this stuff onto the styrofoam, just kind of pour it on there, it just kind of soaks into the styrofoam. But then you can kind of see it's starting to melt it.
It eats it.
Yeah, it's just
eats
eating it up.
up.
And that's eating a hole right through that.
That's right.
Okay, so that's really not going to be what you want to use for the styrofoam.
Look at it go.
It just kind of, you can't really see it too well. You can kind of see.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, you
right
can
here,
see the
yeah.
pot marks and
Right in
stuff that it's
here.
making. But whew, it also
Yeah.
makes a very toxic
That's true.
smell.
That's
so
true.
you don't want to use any of those kind of glues on styrofoam.
What you do want to use, however, is, once again, tacky glue.
Any
Yes.
white glue, but
Any white
tacky
glues,
is the
tacky's a
best
favorite.
because tacky does not have to be held while it's drying. If you were to
Mm-hmm.
use something like Elmer's or Sobo, you'd have to pin it in place until it was dry to keep it from moving.
I say, I'm going to
this
pick up the
stuff's
phone
sticking
here
out.
too. Hi, you're on Bobe's Hobby House.
Yes, I was working at a restaurant about a year ago, a little house on Mobile Highway named Lex and Alley's, which was owned by Zima Marketing. And my boss, Mr. Adams, had me fixing the drive-through with your glue. And ever since that day, I've had a bottle in my house. I'd like to say it's really, truly, definitely an effective product.
Great.
Well, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
that.
It really
Thanks
does.
for calling.
Now, as you can see, because Michael's holding it upside down and stuff, it won't shift with tacky. And it does this with fabric, it does this with wood.
Yeah, so if you're gluing styrofoam plates together, making some UFOs or anything, this is great glue.
Yeah, it's, I heard
Good
that.
stuff.
But
Styrofoam
it's-
plates, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's good for all styrofoam, whatever you want to do with it.
Okay, let me pick up
Okay.
the phone again. Hi, you're on Bobe's Hobby House.
Do you give kids lessons to how to make models?
As it happens, we have some kids' classes still on the schedule, is that correct?
Yes, but he's
Not
asking
in the
about model
models, yeah.
classes.
The model classes, we really haven't had kids' classes on that yet. The museum guys did something out at the Naval Aviation Museum.
Yeah, they sure did. We've got some good books, and we can answer questions for you if you've got any particular questions.
We also encourage you to bring your models out and let's take a look at it and see how things are going.
That's
We can
right.
point things up there.
Saturdays, usually the whole entire radio control counter is covered
Right.
with people.
Thanks for calling.
So,
Hi, you're on
okay.
Bobe's Hobby House.
I'd like to know what kind of glue would be good for using Fucky.
Well,
Every now and then, you've run into a different kind of glue.
okay, let's talk about some paper type glues. Again, if a white glue and it's the place that you have to do it is too small to do it or something, or too delicate, you might want to use a paper glue. And one of the paper glues that's really easy to do, and a lot of artists use this for layups, paste ups and stuff.
Newspaper
Layouts.
people, too.
Yeah, layouts and all that kind of stuff. It's called Uhu
Layups for basketball.
glue stick, and it's very easy to use. It just rolls up, very easy, rolls up and down, and you just put it on the back. And I've brought this little piece of Scherenschnitte, which is just a paper cut, and I've done a little calligraphy piece on it. And in order to put this heart into my spot, I just want to put a little bit of the glue just here and there on the back.
Did you notice it didn't spill when you dropped it?
No, that's one of the neat things about that too. And you just press it down, and you put it in your frame, and you're ready to go. It's that quick and
I'm going to
simple.
pick up the phone while you're
So,
doing that.
That's
Hi,
just
you're on
shows to
Bobe's
show you.
Hobby House.
Hi, this is Dan Spivey. I wanted to know if you had a certain model I've been looking for. I guess y'all might know what you have in the store right offhand.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, it really works
37,000
better.
items. If you can give us a call at the shop, we can look it up and be sure we have it.
It's a pretty distinctive model. See, Jeffrey Striker.
I'm really not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not-
Best thing to do is give us a call at the shop. That's about the only way we'll really be able to tell if we've got it.
Okay.
What's next?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Lots of glues. Okay, now we were going to talk about some washable glues and stuff. We should do that real quick. Some of the new glues, you've got all kinds of glues. You can use just your regular glitter paints and glitter and slick paints and stuff to use as a glue. This is what you decorate your shirts with and stuff, but they also work as a glue for gluing down things like silk flowers and all of your little rhinestones and jewels. But they have new glues out right now that's called Jewlet, which is a washable glue. It's similar to white glue, but it is for jewels. Then you have Fabri-Tac, which is a clear glue that is used for gluing down ribbon, silk flowers, and rhinestones without hurting them. And these are all washable. Then you have Stitchless glue, which is a glue that can be used to glue down fabric appliques, silk flowers, stones. Also, it is good for making the photo transfers that are very popular right now. So that's kind of a neat thing to do. Again, it is in the white glue family. Then there's a lot of things that do now, like Perfect Punch and Pretty Punch and all of those, which is a punch needle type of thing. You may want to put it on your clothing, but you don't want it to stay on there. So you use glues like tack it over and over, glue and wash, or my favorite is stick it again and again and again.
Okay.
There's the glue.
There are a couple others that I'd like to squish in here real quick. We've got a
Yeah.
great model airplane and some rocket stuff. There are glues that we use for that, several kinds of glues to put those together. And then we didn't mention the spray glues that are used in the art products.
That's right,
We
with
have
photos and
with us 3
posters.
different flavors of those tonight. The epoxy, the 2-part mix epoxy cements, and just a whole world of glues. And I'm sure that we didn't bring them all with us.
No,
That's true.
but
I
if
would
you've got
like
any
to-
questions, just call us.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me wrap up here with a couple of things. We've got a giant fly airplane meet coming up in August. Would like to mention that we still have our sale catalog going.
Until this weekend.
Our classes through this weekend. I'd like to announce a program coming up called the Blab Auto Review Show. This won't be until Friday at 8 o'clock, and Don Parker's going to host that. You'll want to stay tuned because in just a couple of minutes, Doc Small Engine Repair is going to be on talking about probably small engine stuff. Okay, and in the meanwhile, if you have any questions about glues or other hobby products, check with us at Bobe's Hobby House, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.